Mano so low. Can they finish him off? Yes, they can. Shanghai Dragons trying to hold on to the point, but it's looking more and more like New York maybe can get it done. The grab comes through for Shanghai, though. It forces a sound barrier out from Animo on New York. Neither team giving this up quite yet. Becoming quite the brawl, but now Shanghai coming in with a few more people. Diem grabs 2 on the Zarya. Gamsu does not go down, and Shanghai holds.
Oh, late grab, and Diem is the one actually who gets the elimination while grabbed himself. So it looks like they were just trying to stall out, but they get a bonus in that they also extract the Graviton Surge from the NYXL, and they manage to keep control of the point. So Shanghai Dragon's going to be feeling great right now with the Valkyrie. No ults up for New York. Jonak about to get trans.
Yeah, this point's starting to look a little bit rough for New York Excelsior. Gamsu, Earth Shatter available. New York, though, they need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen fast. But even if they do, a lot of percentage to make up. They haven't gained anything yet in this series. Going in hard now, but the Shatter comes through. Don't think he hit a whole lot with that. Gamsu that one gets hit, though, by the response Shatter from Mono, who takes out Youngjin with a charge as well. The res comes through from Coma. The New York's still on the point right now. That said, Shanghai into overtime, and they're getting the kills to close the round out. There's a barrage from Ding. Just raining on some extra damage to help seal the deal.
Oh, nice rocket.
Nice air-to-air shot. That is a stylish way to end the round. Shanghai Dragons taking the lead on Oasis.
100-0, too. Convincing from the Shanghai Dragons. Now, we rarely see, the Reinhardt and the Brigitte used in conjunction with Avara, but they're just playing with space the entire time, making sure that they isolate the tank line from the rest of the NYXL, and it ends up being very effective.
Yeah, divide and conquer. Tried and true strategy, works just fine for Shanghai there.
The question is whether they're going to be as effective on some of these other points, because the way that strategy was working is they were forcing them into hallways or corridors or small rooms with Gamsu on the Reinhardt. This time, that's not going to be an option, and indeed, the Shanghai Dragons will switch up their strategy. It will be triple DPS, Ding, Diem, and Youngjin.
You can still bring out the Pharah here, but you can't quite pigeonhole people into little rooms like you could on University. NYXL changing things up themselves, too. They've got the Soldier 76 out.
Yeah, they're going to have to push the Shanghai Dragons off the high ground, though. Everybody needs to go over to the elevator now, and that's what they're going to do. Mana's going to be up there, and the rest of the team is going to follow.
Yep, that's right. Nene doing a lot of damage from on high, and it's going to be a little bit tough for Ding to get in there. Between Jonak and Nene, that's a lot of accurate damage from NYXL. That said, Shanghai Dragons attempting to take the point first here. New York needs to drop at some point.
They're on the point already with their tank line, so they should be okay. It's all about the poke right now and seeing what value they can get out.
Yep. Gamsu, not a lot of support for him. He gets low. Trying to keep him alive. Diem, meanwhile, flees for his life as well. On that Tracer, getting a little bit low. Nene needs to run. Gets hit with the anti-heal. Down to 20 HP. Can they keep him alive? Looks like they can for now. Got the healing from Brigitte just in time. And Gamsu thinking about rolling into traffic here. Looks like it will be New York. Perhaps claiming the point first. Gamsu does reset too.
Yeah, does reset in the end. That's great patient play there by the NYXL. They know that since they have the more robust tank line, that they're going to be able to sit on that point. So as long as the chip damage comes in and they can zone the far out, they're going to win the battle for the actual objective.
Sure enough. Libero taking a couple shots from Luffy on this Ana. Shanghai trying to take things back here, and it might be time for a bit of tactical visor action. That's right. Going high, turning on to Nene here, trying to escape. He's got the nano boost as well. Ooh, gets one onto Jonak, looking for a little bit more. Can't quite find it. The auto aim is off, and he's got to run, man. He did get dinged with the rocket, though. That was a pretty sweet shot.
Yeah, I mean, that
nice Helix rockets, yeah.
That was a very weird nano visor coming in, and they do end up trading 1-for-1, so no real pressure on the point yet from the Shanghai Dragons. They're trying to go there now.
I guess that rocket was probably during the visor, too. Never mind. I'll take that one away from you. Mono, Primal Rage, trying to take control of the elevator. And if there's a gorilla in an elevator you're trying to use, you should probably just take the stairs. I agree with that.
I think Wiz is probably pretty polite in elevators most of the time. Just be careful when he's leaping around.
I mean, unless somebody breaks his glasses, I don't know. Maybe just wear more durable glasses.
I would just suggest LASIK.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like he has the technology. He's made a Tesla gun of lasers.
It's in the future. You'd think LASIK would still be around, right? Ano got some nano boost here. Animo gets the Environmental going to Luffy, actually. Wow, goodbye Youngjin. And Shanghai Dragons just having a really hard time approaching this one. As good as they looked on University, New York is looking that good and more so here on City Center.
Well, Shanghai's just never been able to establish control over the point because they keep getting poked out because of their lower collective HP pool as a result of them not running more than one tank.
Pulse Bomb could make a difference, though. DM, nope, never mind. That was a straight up caster curse right there. I'm sorry, DM. That happens sometimes. Get a big monkey paw to the face. I thought they were friends in the lore. One too many jokes. Tracer, I guess. Now overtime ticking away. New York on the verge of tying up Oasis here. Nene with the tack visor. Trying to keep Shanghai zoned out. Mano just adding on to that damage here. Taking out Luffy. Goodbye, Youngjin. Ooh, that was a close call. I had to try to dodge a little bit from the barrage of Ding there, but in the end, New York having no trouble at all, and this is going to be hilarious. Yep, goodbye. Air Monkey coming for you.
Really good coordination there from Nene and Mano, though, because the chip damage came in from the tack visor onto the support. Then Mano's able to jump in and actually finish off the kill.
Yeah.
Great target selection. Shot calling from the NYXL, as we expect.
I have to correct myself. I should have said Air Scientist.
Oh, sorry.
My bad. Sorry, Winston. New York, though, tying things up on Oasis. That's going to take us to Garden for our third round here. Rather on the map. We'll see what we get. Now, this is a round that we used to always see the Pharah versus Pharah on, but not so much anymore in the current meta. That said, it looks like he might decide to go ahead and use it anyway. New York looks like they're ready, though, with Nene on the McCree.
Yeah, I like Nene on the McCree here. Does allow you to flashbang a lot of these small corridors as well as still have the same long-range presence against the Pharah. You can shut down the Sombra with the flashbang.
Yep.
And now
Ding!
Oh, ding.
Oh, ding. Got risky there. One more shot would have done it. Yeah, you got to be careful.
As Ding right now trying to at least deal some spam damage through these doorways. Pressure Nene a little bit more, who is getting the Brigida armor packs pretty regularly. Hi, Gamsu.
Well, Gamsu walks right into a flashbang. You got to be wary of that if you're trying to jump on a McCree.
That was a bold move by Ding. I'm not sure I would have gone into that corridor, but manages to make it work. NYXL now back onto the high ground.
He's a brave man. Ooh, he got himself flashbanged even. He got that close. Shanghai, though, on the verge of taking this point and getting their control percent going. Mano down. Shanghai slowly but seemingly surely getting advantages here, although there goes Youngjin. Jonak finding a kill there. Ding has to go way far away to try to avoid the damage. Nene looking for the kill, finds a rocket to the face instead. And New York, yep, slowly bleeding away players, and that's going to be Shanghai. Probably able to grab this one first. Ding, he's not afraid of going anywhere with this Pharah.
There he is, Winston, the last one to go down. So finally the first cap comes through for the Shanghai Dragons.
Oh, there we go.
Able to hold up. Yeah, a lot of their ultimates as well. Not that if too many impactful ones, Ding might be able to receive a nano boost here just to power up his barrage and make sure he stays alive through the completion of the animation. NYXL, Nene nearly there with a Deadeye if he can get into a good position.
And sometimes you can protect that soldier and give him an easy kill on the Pharah Mercy combo too. Oh, not that time though. Ding finds him again with a rocket. Now the barrage comes out. Sound barrier used by New York, but it's not going to help them much. Meko, D-Mech, Jonak down. They get the kill on Tacoma in the end anyway, but Mano pays for it with his life, and Shanghai Dragons still holding on to the point, looking good.
I like how aggressive the Shanghai Dragons are playing. Go ahead and use that nano boost on the barrage when you think you can get an advantage while the NYXL are still collecting. Get yourself as many of those percent as you can onto the meter. See Ding going back just to provide Koma a target to swoop to from the spawn.
That's the plan. New York has some ultimates coming online now. Minefield comes through. Ooh, they get the stun on the Gamsu, but he stays alive. Gets the shielding just in time. Got to walk through all those mines now. Ooh, that scared me, man. My palms are sweaty after watching. Hey, do that. He's weak as well. Oh, he finds Youngjin with the Deadeye. You can't peek. New York Excelsior getting the kills. And they might be able to finally control the point here as soon as they eliminate DM. Yeah, that'll be a control percent building now for New York.
And what happened there was Mano saw an opportunity onto the back line because everyone else, he knew where the Hammond was and he knew where the Tracer was, and they were both trying to flank and deal with Nene right there, but without any kind of peel or damage pressure. It was all mono, able to get into the back, take out Youngjin, and immediately set up a 6 versus 5 for New York.
Ding lurking on high. Those rockets. Ooh, getting aggressive here. To the side. Nene. Yeah, that's right. Jonak fragging out, gets 2 already. So Shanghai losing a few people here. We'll see how much they want to pursue this. Ding already has his ult built up, so any damage he does without killing people is kind of just giving ult charge over to the supports on New York.
All right, then I switched over to the Soldier 76 now. He did just lose that duel straight up to the Tracer, so maybe in his head a little bit saying, all right, I'm not going to kill you, but maybe I can at least survive through you.
That's right.
With the biotic field to give me some heals.
Stand in the healing field. DM, Pulse Bomb. Can he find a stick here? Looking for it. Would love to get one onto Jonak. Mono down. There's the stick. Ooh, he lived though. The Transcendence keeps Jonak alive. Mono though down with the barrage. So New York on the outside looking in. Trying to keep this going. Ding goes down. Nene finds one with the Soldier 76. Self-destruct. Meko grabs 2. And New York is going to keep that percentage going.
They do have a little bit of a healing problem. Finally, the biotic grenade falls off them, so they're able to get back up to full. And New York still standing strong right here. No swaps coming in yet from the Shanghai Dragons. NYXL, they all back on the point together shortly as Meko rejoins them on the Diva.
A lot of really staggered kills at the end of that one, too. Shanghai having a bit of an issue resetting after that fight. That's going to cause them to be a bit frantic coming into this next one. Into overtime now. New York on the verge of winning this map. Shanghai's got to get there. Nene trying to build up that ultimate. Meanwhile, oh, Coma down. Meko found him. Getting that mercy is crucial. New York using the sound barrier to try to seal the deal. Youngjin down as well. Primal Rage activated. And here comes Attack Visor. Oh, yes. The beautiful tracking. New York takes away Oasis. What a comeback.
Very nice comeback from the NYXL. Went down early in that round, but held it through the whole 100% once they got it back.
Yeah, that was impressive stuff from New York, and that's the kind of stuff you expect from a team that went undefeated in stage number 1. Shanghai giving them some trouble, though. Let's see if the Dragons can tie it up when we come back for map 2.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Vancouver Titans were looking to close out a clean 4-0 against the Seoul Dynasty on Rialto. Now, all Zarya players know the frustration of ulting into a diva, so Bumper earth shatters her to the ground. Somansu follows up with the Graviton Surge on the entire team, and this sets up Janu for the dunk from behind.
The self-destruct, and that is a great knockback to set up the triple kill for Janu there. Vancouver Titans again just instantly eliminating Seoul. Here we go, guys. Shanghai Dragons down 1 game to NYXL, but you know what?
What?
They look pretty good.
They did look pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Not
have
bad.
said we could have said the same thing about them against Los Angeles Gladiators
True.
as well. And it may not be the Shanghai Dragons day, but it's pretty disingenuous to look at their record from last season and believe that that's going to be their record for this season.
Absolutely,
I think
yeah.
this is a team on the up and up with some really good players. So I'm excited to watch them, especially down the stretch this stage, as I think after this match, we're going to get probably a few Shanghai wins. I believe they're playing the Valiant and the Justice and the Outlaws this stage, which I think are all winnable matches for them. So
I'd agree. Yeah. Wow, really throwing down the gauntlet on those other teams. Huh? Wow.
hey, well, you know
Hot
what?
takes.
I
They're
did.
not that
I did.
hot.
I
They're
did.
not.
I didn't make them bad though.
It's
so.
like lukewarm takes, I suppose. Really.
Yeah,
But
it was not. It was ice cold take of
ice
reality.
cold takes. There you go. All right, ice cold bucket of reality dropped to you by Monty as usual. So, right now, Shanghai Dragons, like you said, you can't really look at them by their old record. They're going to be doing much better. There's going to be a substitution. That's why we're kind of filling some time here. But on the New York side of things, you know, it seemed like they were kind of caught off guard a little bit by the aggression from Shanghai, especially by Ding's Farah, honestly, on that first map.
Yeah.
But then they adapted really well. And that's the kind of thing where you look at this team and you're like, well, you know, why in the world did they lose to Seoul in the stage playoffs last season? I don't know. At some point, we need to
Seoul has
forget
been
about
playing
that.
pretty well,
But that
to be
was
fair.
a crazy match, though.
Yeah, it was a crazy match. And Seoul is playing much better these days, and you can really see those improvements with the Dynasty.
Yeah.
But overall, I think, you know, on paper, NYXL should have won that match. And we haven't seen Ding pull out the Sombra yet, which I think is a bit of a surprise, considering that is what New York has been weak to. So,
Wow, Nene not dying yet on that Soldier 76. That is actually pretty impressive. Because Soldier's one of those heroes where, yeah, you can sprint and you've got the biotic field, but you don't have the ability to teleport away or leap away or something. So to go an entire control map without dying when you're playing that Soldier, that's pretty impressive.
yeah, absolutely it is. And I think this is a great time to revisit that statistic from the NYXL as we talk about Ding Sombra. So right now, NYXL is sort of the 6th worst team in the league playing against that EMP, and that means
Sure.
the difference between their average teamfight win and their teamfight win when EMP is used against them. That seems to be their weakness. But let's talk about a substitute.
That's right. On the Shanghai Dragon side of things, Kaguri is subbing in for Diem. Interesting. They would take out Diem and bring in their flex tank.
Yeah, I am curious what this means, because obviously they are going to be running with a couple of flex tank players on this roster right now,
Yeah.
but also Geguri last season played some Orisa, so I am
True.
curious if that's the role she's going to be filling on this team, and if Gamsu's going to be playing something else.
Well, as we look at our maps, maybe that'll give us a clue. Hanamura will be the next place we'll go to. It's going to be our assault map. But still, it is a bit puzzling. Shanghai definitely has something tricky planned here on this map against New York.
Yeah, it could be Youngjin also flexing into a different role that some of the other players don't feel comfortable on.
It's true.
And Geguri taking over the Diva, which is what it looks like right now at first blush, with Youngjin over on
Certainly a hero
Genji.
she's well familiar with. Of course, Kaguri making a name for herself in Korea early on with that Zarya play, having to adapt a little bit once Diva became more popular in the meta over there and learning that hero. Bit of a reset. Back to the Diva right now for the Shanghai Dragons as they go on the attack. So it will be Ding back on that Farah and Youngjin on the Genji against NYXL's Winston 3-3. Oh,
All right.
but a swap.
Youngjin is going to look at the Winston 3-3 and then immediately make a transition. He's still in spawn, is going to switch over
Okay,
to the Roadhog.
interesting. I believe we have seen him play some Roadhog in the past, but basically not using that Genji when he realizes it's not the Bastion hardpoint.
The issue right now
We've seen
for
a
the
lot.
Dragons is that Luffy's all by himself getting chased by 6 members of the NYXL, and now they've killed Youngjin as well. They did get a tick for it.
I was going to say, yeah, they
did
got
get
a
a
tick
tick
on the
for it.
point. I suppose that's not ideal, but you'll take it, right? Shanghai Dragons trying to fight short-handed a little bit here.
So what happened there is
good night,
NYXL realized that because of Youngjin's late swap, that both him and Luffy were on the outside of the gate. So they made a decision to give up that tick onto the point in exchange for the first team fight win. We'll see if that decision is going to be good for them in the long run.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, Shanghai Dragons getting close to a couple different ultimates here. And Youngjin over on the Doomfist. All right. So swapping things up again. And I think the idea is just to kind of surprise New York with something they might not be expecting. Rocket punching in there. There's the uppercut taking the high ground. trying to get in on the tank line of New York, punching Mono off the roof.
So Mono has the Primal Rage. He's perfectly safe in that scenario. No walls really to get punched into right there. So you'll just go ahead and eat that cooldown.
Sure. How do you transition this into a point take? That's the question now. Mono with the nano boost, chasing down members of Shanghai, doing a lot of damage to Kekri. And stunned as he gets back onto the point. Do they have the damage? He Primal Rages just in time to stay alive. Shanghai, though, with a lot of ultimates available to use. Coma using that Mercy ultimate for a little bit, but not getting a ton out of it. Now Youngjin is down already. Jonak, though, takes a walk in the minefield, and Shanghai might have a chance to turn this around. Meko as well gets caught by it, and Nene with not a lot of health remaining. He's going to go down as well, and Shanghai have found the chance, the opportunity here to take point A.
Excellent minefield from Gamsu. They saw everybody chasing Youngjin on that Doomfist and realized that in order to get back to the point quickly enough that if that minefield was laid there, they were going to have to walk through it, drop right on top of them. Maybe a bit of an over pursuit there from the NYXL. Now swaps coming through. Nene will not be staying on this Tracer most likely.
Yep, Youngjin swapping to the Brigida from the Doomfist on the Dragon side of things.
So Ding coming in with a barrage. They do have a nano boost as well. Don't need a lot of time for a nano-boosted Pharah to clear out the point, so NYXL needs to be particularly careful about that combination of ultimates. Ding here floating on the flank.
Yeah, that's what you're really looking for, is that big play. Luffy down already, though. And Ding, are they going to try to fight it? 4v6? I don't know if I recommend that.
Well, NYXL with another great read.
Yep.
And this is what is so good about this team. So they see the Shanghai Dragons with Ding and Coma on one of the flanks, and they say, all right, well, we'll just send our Diva over there. So Meko floats over just to deny them the point. Meanwhile, it's a 5v4 on the other side of the map for the NYXL, who just rush the core of the Shanghai Dragons.
Right, you're going to win those fights nearly every time. You just simply have the numbers advantage.
That's right, and you do still see NYXL split across the point. Of course, the Diva going to be on the far side behind the cameras. We're looking at them right now. Easily able to float over there, boost over there if needed.
True.
To help the teammates, otherwise just keeping an eye out.
Here we go. Shanghai on the point again. Jonak gives a nano boost over to Mono, who's going to charge forward on the Dragons here. Is he going to go for the pharmacy? He certainly is, trying to do as much damage as he can to Coma. Coma really low, actually. Has to pop that Mercy ultimate to stay alive. The sleep dart
Nice
not in the meantime.
Beautiful.
Sick sleep dart from Jonak. That is the end of that nano boost. Whoa. That was amazing. And then he gets a kill on a Ding afterwards. Jonak's Ana, you thought his Zenyatta was good, man. This guy's Ana's right up there, too.
Just casually, deny that nano boost. Ding doesn't even ever have a chance to use his barrage. He gives up. He just switches over to the Zarya.
Yeah, why not, man? Nene down. Shanghai, meanwhile, still fighting it out on the point. They're not ready to give this up just yet, but Gamsu using that Primal Rage, they're going to dedicate that to it, but the rest of the team from Shanghai still walking their way back. Jonak trying to stay alive. Health pack denied, but Gamsu dies anyway. They trapped him in the corner, and now Shanghai forced to fight short-handed on the point again. I feel like maybe they tried to get a little bit too much out of that last one. Rather than falling back, Gamsu going for it with the Primal Rage. What do you think?
It may have been a little bit of an overcommitment right now as they stagger out Kegri to buy a little bit more time. And NYXL, they're just coming up on so many ultimates. Their ult bank is absolutely massive. Shanghai also late on the 3-3 swap. So Ding at very low percentage towards the Graviton Surge right now. It's going to take a few pushes, eco pushes, for them to even have a chance to crack this Excelsior defense.
Still 2:30 left on the clock, rather. So Shanghai does have a bit of time to try to build up some of these ultimates, but Nene drops a Graviton early. New York wants to win this fight fast, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Not much ult charge gained from that push for Shanghai.
No, decent commitment from NYXL, though. They did commit the rally, even though they got some eliminations off the bat just with that Graviton Surge. So somewhat depleted, but they'll have a sound barrier up for the next fight. Shanghai not getting much at all, considering that they were grabbed before they could really even initiate combat, get some damage down to charge themselves up.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, New York, Mono, very close to that Primal Rage. More good delaying ultimates for the Excelsior.
Yeah, XL can engage with a self-destruct here if they want.
Yeah, if you throw it down that hallway, it's hard to get away from sometimes.
Depends on where they commit to.
Right. Shanghai seems to know this, though. They're not... Okay, they are going for it. What are we going to see? Sound barrier comes in from New York. Shanghai Dragons stalled out at the doorway. Mono falls down, has to wait for that jump cooldown to come back up. Gonna maybe try to get up on the back line here.
All right, they disengage from the Winston and Brigida ultimates for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah. All right, Echo. Doing some charge there. Meanwhile, Jonak Transcendence up on the high ground as New York kind of push all of Shanghai down to the low ground now. Take that advantage. Graviton was used, but nobody from New York gets caught in it. Gamsu just eliminated in response as well. So the pushes from Shanghai have not been stellar towards the end of this round. And now with just a minute remaining and that grab just used, if you're Shanghai, you're kind of starting to sweat a bit.
Yeah, Ding being on the Zarya, you know, he throws out that grab there in not the best way. The idea was right in that they did force the Transcendence out of Jonak, so there was actually a window of opportunity, but the solo grab even onto Nene just doesn't catch him, and now Nene coming up with a grab. Shanghai have a couple support ultimates for their own defense, but a lot of ults were wasted in that fight simply because NYXL disengaged very early on. 30 seconds left. This is the last push.
Pretty much. This is it. Shanghai Dragons needs to take the point right here, right now. Nene waiting for it. There's the Transcendence from Jonak to set things up. Self-destruct comes in for Shanghai, and it does catch Libero. Sound Barrier not able to save him. Jonak gets Luffy, but Shanghai with the early edge in this fight. Gonna have to count on those respawns for New York to get bailed out here. Shanghai looking okay, though. There goes Jonak as well. Mono in the Primal Rage, but needs a bit more help than that. There's Meko demech'd. Shanghai has not gained a lot of percentage on the point just yet. Gamsu trying to live. Oh, he pops his Primal Rage to get that leap cooldown back, and he's into the fray once more. New York just again trying to count on those respawns. There's the Sound Barrier from Animo. And Shanghai starting to get pushed back here. It was looking good for a moment, but now New York seems to have the numbers if they can just keep pushing through. Shanghai Dragons, they came closer than it looked like they were going to be able to, but in the end, looks like New York will prevent them from taking point B.
Yeah, not even a tick either on point B. So NYXL should have a pretty clear attack plan right here. They don't have to do anything fancy. Go for the 3-3, see if you can snowball efficiently into a second point.
Yep. We'll see what they can do when we come back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to our Assault Map Hanamura. New York Excelsior able to get the hold on point B against the Shanghai Dragons, and a lot of that due to the stellar play of that man on your screen right there, Jonak on the Ana. You know, the thing is when he came into the league last year as a rookie, everyone was talking about his Ana. They said this guy is an incredible Ana player. Then we got into that meta where you really didn't see it that much, but now here in the 2019 season, I think we're going to get to see a lot of that hero that he was originally hyped for. as I say that, he goes on Zenyatta.
Of course.
Which
His
is fine.
signature hero.
Which is fine.
In the Overwatch League.
It's become his signature hero. But his original signature hero was Ana.
So Anamo, however, has not died yet on Hanamura. He's the only player in this map. Mano only died once. What do the New York Excelsior have for us on this attack round? Shanghai Dragons will be playing the bunker composition, but with a Pharah and no Batiste. They won't have the Amp Matrix to give the Bastion some additional damage, but they will have another consistent damage-dealing threat in Ding's Pharah.
Really prioritizing Ding on that Pharah. Libero on the Pharah as well, though.
Mekko on the Hanzo.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll be 3 DPS with an Orisa. This is definitely weird. Now they're going to try and pull somebody outside, up above the enemy Orisa barrier with the halt.
Get the halt and you double snipe him. That's the plan. Or you just run to the point if you're New York and you make Shanghai move.
I don't know how that Orisa got to the point. She's not a very fast pony.
She's got 4 legs, though. You'd think she'd be faster.
How did she get there?
I don't know. Nene got the kill onto Ding. Meanwhile, Mano has, like, no health. The little pony that could.
You know, Jonak just hits him with the Dwarf and says, here you go. Here's a very small amount of healing.
He's like, I gotta go kill the Mercy on the other side. Here. Have this healing Orbin.
I just don't know how that Orisa got across all of that open ground without being killed.
A confident walk, you know? If you act like you belong, you can go anywhere.
A bold gallop, as it were.
I was invited to this point. Geguri has to go back to try to defend, but she takes so much damage. Meanwhile, the Dragon Strike coming through, and Libero getting the kill on Youngjin because of the displacement. Ding did finish off Mekko, but meanwhile, that's 1 tick taken nearly by New York already. Nene looking for picks. Mekko gets res. Oh, some damage onto Ding. Luffy down. New York finally finishing this fight off, it seems like. Oh, goodbye Gamsu through the window. Yikes.
Well, this has been silly.
It has been silly.
Typically, when you have a bunker composition, you don't let people go across the open ground, especially large horse-shaped tanks, for free. And then let them pressure the point while you have double snipers. Because the problem that Shanghai faces is that they have to send somebody to the point, because Mano is literally just sitting in a corner behind an Orisa barrier. So you have to send a credible threat to deal with him. But if you actually disengage your bunker, then the 2 snipers kill you in the transition.
Well, Nene gets the shot on Akoma, but he dies immediately afterwards. Luckily, Animo there for the res. Libero, oh my goodness, you walked right into the barrage. Youngjin dies. Gamsu lucky to get away. He had that leap cooldown just in time.
He's trapped outside of the point by this Widow, though. I don't know how he's going to get back.
Well, Ding gets Mekko. He's got to count the rest of his team to carry for a little while. Well, he's gone. Ding gets a couple kills. Finally down, but Shanghai manages to pull that one out of the fire.
Yep, they have the Nano Boost and the Barrage, so focusing down a couple of members of the NYXL. Now NY going to switch up to the Winston 3-3 as expected. Shanghai should be following suit here shortly. Ding looks like he should... No, he's not going to switch off the Pharah yet.
That spray on the wall says Sogum, which is Korean for salt. It is. It's a salt shaker. So you know. What would our cast be if it wasn't educational, Monty?
That's true.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious.
What we're known for is our educational value. New York trying to push up through the hallway. They get Youngjin. Libero manages to go forward enough to do the damage. Gamsu in a little bit of trouble as well. Libero himself in damage. Finally goes down, but not before his team claims a few more. Jonak on the low ground. Everybody trying to just brawl it out with the Shanghai Dragons and take the point a bit later. Remember, all they need is that first tick to win the map. But some low health on Mano. I don't know if this is going to be the push. There goes Mano, taken out eventually. Still, though, 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock for New York.
Yeah, NYXL realistically wasn't going to make that push work with their wholesale change of composition.
Yeah.
Resetting their ult economy for the most part, and Shanghai already had that Valkyrie. Did commit it to that fight, though, and now it's a nice stagger. They're going to get onto Mekko. Mekko will regain his tank here, his mech rather, at the very end. His mech is also tanky, so it works.
Yep. It's back in. Jonak does have the Transcendence. Luffy gets his right now as well. So Shanghai with the ult advantage, but only for a short time. All right, rally used on the Shanghai side as New York pushes in. I think New York might just back away and let him have that one. No, they're going to let him have Nene instead.
They sacrificed
I was
Nene.
going to say, sacrificial Zarya and Jonak. All right, and Mono. All right, that's a bit rough. Still 3:20 left on the clock, and now New York can push in with 6 ultimates. That's the thing. They didn't really care too much about that one. They've got 6. Shanghai fairly close.
But Shanghai did a good job because, really New York, they wanted more out of that push. They needed to get something done. And they couldn't actually get any of the extra ultimates out of the Shanghai Dragons, so we're going to be about equal. Now, Barrage may not have a lot of value. Obviously depends entirely on how it's used. They don't have a nano boost for Ding, so it does make it a bit riskier.
Get ready for the 5K Barrage now. Now that Monty said that.
It would be really hard to do through a Primal.
It would be. And the Diva as well. Here we go. Sound barrier now for New York as they get aggressive here. Time to get serious. There's the grab. Ding's Barrage not doing much as he gets caught in the grab. What do you know? You're right. New York fighting the 6v5. Self-destruct grab.
That's
2
a
for
nice
Kakri,
one.
though. That's Shanghai Dragons turning it around in a big way. And now New York is going to have used all those ultimates for nothing. They still just need that single tick.
Yeah, late self-destruct from Geguri sets up the big play to turn things around. And now NYXL resetting themselves. Shanghai Dragons in the same boat, but it's going to be a lot tougher for the NYXL to push forward. Still 2 minutes, though.
It's just a weird situation because they only need that first tick. All they need to do is win just one fight. That you don't even need to win as much as you usually do to take this point. But they just haven't been able to get it done. Shanghai with a great defense so far. Mono down again. Shanghai Dragons just not phased at all by the aggression here. Now they're going to go on to Nene. Youngjin knocked down to the low ground, but he's going to get the kill anyway. And New York looking a little bit scattered here.
Yeah, they have to push back again. Great disruption. NYXL tried to fake their approach through the upper corridor and then move through the main, but Gamsu was ready for that, knocked the Zenyatta onto the low ground, and they were split up. Mono tried to go high, didn't end up working, didn't have the line of sight. Now he's just saying, screw it, we're going to Reinhardt now.
Yep.
Everybody on the point.
It's time. 1 minute remaining about for New York Excelsior, and what began as a really strong point A push after a really good defense on B is starting to look like a possible Shanghai win, unless New York can pull it out in like the next 2 pushes. They've got the rally, that's something, but Luffy has the transcendence on the Shanghai side.
Yeah, they do at least have the Reinhardt shield onto the point right now to block some of these incoming rockets.
True. Ding trying to go for some displacement there. He's getting really close to the barrage. Very close. New York in a vulnerable position. Here comes the barrage. Nene down already. Transcendence used by Jonak, but not in time to save their Zarya. That's going to be a problem for New York. Here comes Ding. There's a barrage. Can he get anybody with it? Libero in some trouble. Gets taken out. Jonak as well. Falls victim to Gamsu. And New York sent running for the hills again. Mono takes Youngjin for a ride out of spite. But man,
that was a long reset, though. It looks like they are going to be able to make it back just barely. Meko is going to be the one to touch if possible. Reinhardt charging through right now. Mono has rejoined the rest of the team. They'll be able to make it. It's going to be close, though. They are going to have a grab self-destruct combo. And remember, there's no trance on the side of the Shanghai Dragons.
This is it. They got to win this fight right here. Dragons. Oh, Youngjin pinned by Mono after the shatter. Gamsu trapped in the grab, but they weren't able to get the kill. Now the Sound Bearer comes in from New York. Self-destruct, and again, Kakri gets 2. Meko finds her with his self-destruct, but it might not be enough. That said, Mono and Meko still claiming some more kills, but Gamsu takes out Jonak with a punch to the face. Now on to Nene. Gamsu standing strong on the point right here. Goes after Nene, doesn't let him get to the health pack. New York unable to do it. Shanghai Dragons will take Hanamura. No, it's a draw. My bad. They played so well. They deserve to take that.
They deserve to win it. But
That's right.
It is going to be a draw. So Shanghai Dragons holds down. That was a 4+ minute defense from the Shanghai Dragons to hold off the NYXL.
That's right.
And they do it. Ding. Tons of damage.
Well, casters could grant wins. I would give it to Shanghai there, but we'll see what happens after halftime now.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right. Shanghai Dragons are keeping it close after New York Excel stole away game number 1. They draw and have a 1-0 lead here at the half in favor of New York. Welcome back into the Blizz Arena, everybody. It's Puckett. I've got Brent. I've got Sideshow. They used to be roommates. Now they're hanging out over here on this side of the stage. We're starting strong. Guys, let's talk about this game because if you looked at the standings, Shanghai Dragons pretty far down.
Yeah, you would have to be a fool to predict the Shanghai Dragons.
Pretty far up. Josh, you said not only do you expect NYXL to win this, you expect them to have a clean sweep of Stage 2. Bren, you've predicted Shanghai in all 3 of their victories so far.
I have, yes. Yeah.
Today,
some might call me the Oracle. I'm just a man.
You've also predicted them in a lot of their losses as well.
No,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But to give you credit, Bren, they were looking very strong. Shanghai came out of the gates with their DPS duo of DM and Ding doing a whole lot of work in this first map. Talk me through what we were seeing from the Dragons early on.
Yeah, there's some large lads, aren't there, on the Shanghai Dragons? I mean, it's really you've been singing their praises the most, Josh, about Ding and DM. You've rated them.
He loves Ding.
He does love Ding. You've been making some comments on the desk about you think that this has the potential to be one of the best DPS duos in the league.
Yep.
I think they're definitely proving it. There's a lot of potential in this roster. Just needs to be kind of excavated out, if you like. I don't know.
Sure. That's the right word.
Use some other words for me. Come on.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of talent locked up here, and they've got the power to be able to overwhelm the NYXL. You saw that map was incredibly close on Oasis. Ding playing the Pharah. He's very talented on that. DM's not having as large an impact, but that's just to do with the role that he has to play at the moment. You haven't really been able to open him up on his Widowmaker and his Tracer and stuff like that, but still making this a very close game.
Well, we saw some great DPS play, but unfortunately, DPS was losing in a fight to a tank. What was Mono doing to him?
Mano was having a fantastic game, honestly, in map 1. He was putting up some unreal numbers overall, but he is just a great player. He kind of skirted, I feel like, below everyone else's radar in Season 1, kind of overshadowed by a lot of the DPS players on New York Excelsior. But realistically, the backbone of your team is often the main tanks, and he's fallen short of a lot of the top discussions when he's compared to a lot of the top main tanks. But here he's proving in this match, at least. I mean, just looking at these, I mean, 5 deaths to his names, but realistically, you need to look at that Primal Rage kills. He's getting mad efficiency out of his ultimates. It's very impressive whenever players manage to do this.
We know we're expecting a lot more Winston in Stage 2, at least here in the early weeks. Do you prefer to see Mono on the Winston over his Reinhardt that we saw all Stage 1?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has more of like a carry impact when he's on that Winston role, and he's incredibly intelligent, can play a bunch of main tanks. For me, the best main tank in the league right now has been throughout 2019, even though Bumper was so amazing to watch. So Mano's your man to watch going forward.
All right, so we got the best main tank. He's playing for the NYXL, but let's talk about why this is not a 2-0. Talk me through this second map. What went down when we went to Hanamura, guys?
Yeah, it was actually starting off New York Excelsior playing very well, and Jonat was the man that we were looking at in particular. You know, this guy is just phenomenal, really, isn't he? And when he's playing the role that he came up on here.
Yeah, originally known for his Ana before we all knew him for his...
Exactly, yeah, and he had a fantastic game both on the Ana and the Zendo on this first half, but it wasn't quite enough, was it, at the end of the day?
No.
Shanghai Dragons managed to quite just squeak it out, if you will, but still a fantastic stuff. But
and here, even when they managed to force out the Transcendence, they're not being able to capitalize on the errors from the NY their offense. That was a whiffed grab, and the setup was all there. They'd forced out the Transcendence from Jonak when he had that aggressive positioning, but just couldn't land the grab. Now, having said that, though, the mistakes that Shanghai made on their offense, looking very sloppy, were kind of repeated on the other side for New York. Because they didn't look very together when they attacked. And that was how it ended up being a draw at the end of the day.
As we take a look at some of the best moments here from the later half of the game, Gregory had some big bombs, keeping Shanghai in it on defense, especially that 2.5K on point B. But who are some of the other stars you're looking out for as this match goes on, guys?
I think, honestly, you've hit the nail on the head with Gregory on that point B defense in particular. Twice in the most important fights.
Oh, yeah.
NYXL got very messy. Their target focus, weirdly, uncharacteristically, ended up breaking down. And then Gregory comes in with a perfectly timed Diva Bomb and just catches both of them.
I like it. Well, Bren, I know you're not switching your predictions, so Josh, talk me through how is the second half going to play out? Right now, it's anyone's game.
I think that as we move on throughout this series, New York are going to be able to tighten up their play a little bit. I think even though Shanghai Dragons have made it close so far, they're kind of relying on a lot of compositions that center around Ding on the Pharah. And that makes them a little bit predictable, a little bit exploitable. I'm still going to go with NYXL. I think they'll come out strong in the second half.
All right, if it's your first time watching a match that includes a draw, remember, it's going to be NYXL basically on match point. You win a map here, you're going to win it 2-1. We'll see if they can get it done. Second half is coming up if it went to a game 4. Sorry, I was breaking that out for everyone.
Sure.
Second half coming up, game 3. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's the Overwatch League. We'll be right back.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back to New York Excelsior versus Shanghai Dragons. Right now it's 1-0 in New York's favor. Hanamura was a tie as much as it felt like a Shanghai win. It was actually a tie by the rules of Overwatch. So that means, like they said at halftime, that if New York wins one more game in this series, they're going to win the series.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance for the Shanghai Dragons to, come back.
Shanghai,
Obviously, they have to win the next two.
The next two maps.
But, I don't blame you, though. In the history of the Shanghai Dragons draw does feel like a win, historically. So
yeah, I can't argue with that. Anyway, we got a substitution on the Shanghai side of things. Let's check it out. It's going to be the one, the only. Trust me, it's coming. Should I spoil it? Should I tell them who it is? It's not that exciting. It's just DM coming back in.
I'm excited by this.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, he's a great DPS Kakery. Going back to the bench for the moment. I thought she performed quite well on Hanamura. Got a couple crucial diva bombs at just the right moments, but they will bring back in DM the DPS for Eichenwald.
That they will. It does make sense, of course. Widowmaker going to be an option at least on this map with some of the longer sight lines, depending on the compositions that we see used.
Time to go to our hybrid map. It's going to be Eichenwald, the site of the great battle between the Crusaders and the Omnics.
Nice.
In the Omnic War.
Nice.
One of the few places where the Omnics were actually defeated, but all of the Crusaders, except one, died in the process.
Oh, yeah?
And do you know who that Crusader was, Monty?
Me?
No, it was Reiner. Not quite. Close. Nene taking an early shot.
So I guess there were two then, is what I'm learning. Anyway.
All right, a swap from Nene. Tried to get some early picks on that Widowmaker as we get things going. New York Excelsior on the attack, Shanghai Dragons on the defense.
Yeah, they really like running this composition, Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah.
There were some criticisms about too much Junkrat usage in their first game of the series. Gamsu gonna get a nice Fire Strike elimination onto Jonak. And look at this. This Pharah keeps on going for them. And NYXL have really not had a good option of dealing with that. Last round, Ding dealt 27% of his team's damage on this Pharah.
That kill on Jonak is just one of those things where it's like, if you're playing the Ana, you can't heal yourself other than using the bio grenade, and you want to save that, so you kind of have to be reliant on your teammates to keep you healed up. And if they don't, you die really fast to that 100 damage Fire Strike.
All right, this is a very unusual rotation for Eichenwald, and now Ding is behind you, shooting rockets into your supports.
He's right behind you. Youngjin down, though. Mono finds a kill early, and Ding, low health, had to take a break. Koma, meanwhile, nearly drops as well, so New York with a good chance here. Ding's going to have to try to turn around, but he can't. He dies to Jonak before he could use his barrage. That is the deadly accuracy of Jonak on basically any hero.
Yeah, the problem for the Shanghai Dragons is that once Ding is pushed off of the point, the NYXL can just run at the rest of this core. There is no Brigitte there to stun people or slow them down in any kind of meaningful way. And the sustained healing from a Brigitte and an Ana while you're on the point is just ridiculous. So that said, Shanghai Dragons will just continue committing to this Pharah.
They've still got the barrage. They want to really try to make it count for something. He can come back behind the gate. New York's not expecting it. Meanwhile, will be Jonak using the nano boost onto Mono, though. Mono knocked down by Gamsu's Earth Shatter, but no good follow-up from Shanghai yet.
Be tricky to kill him unless the Pharah was in position. They're waiting right now for Koma's Valkyrie to end.
All right, there it is, the grab. Ding gets 2 already. Doesn't survive, but I'd say 2 kills might be enough here. Probably gets a swap there. No, they're going to actually res him as Shanghai cleans up the rest of the fight.
Why not?
Sure.
This has been working for the Dragons. Like, it keeps on working, and NYXL seems very reluctant to switch to anything else. They have committed. They say, we're just going to play the objective right now. We're going to ignore your Pharah. Any kind of chip damage or poke damage that the Pharah is going to do to us, we will just heal up. Instead, now Ding switching over to that Sombra that we were talking about before this match started. First Sombra sighting.
Yeah. And you go ahead and try it. It's a good point for it. Grab used by Nene as New York jumps in to try to win this fight. There's the charge. Mono brings him towards, but they can't finish off Gamsu. Transcendence of Luffy, just too strong of healing.
Re-engaged right now.
And rally from both teams. Ding gets a hack onto Mono. They get away from the self-destruct anyway. Meko not finding any kills onto Shanghai with that. It was stalled out a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a slow push here. Ding creeping up on that EMP.
Yeah, nano boost onto Mano again. Walking forward here. Animo gets a kill onto Luffy, though, knocks him off. A long, arcing Earth Shatter from Mono. Gets the stuns anyway.
My favorite part of having it in first person was that he changed his mind because he was booped during the shatter. He actually got more time to make a decision there. He's like, should I go after that? Nope, the support's on the flank. That's what I want right there. Ends up working out great for Mono.
Definitely the right choice. They're going to take point B as soon as they remove Ding. Actually,
during the animation.
That gave his life to try to stall the point out. Didn't get the EMP off, though. Unfortunately for Shanghai, that's going to be another fight. They will lose, and New York will take point B.
That's super bad, too, because now you lost your EMP with for 0 value. Didn't even get the animation off before it was canceled by the NYXL.
I feel like I saw Libero there with the shield bash into a quick kill.
Yeah, Luffy's nearly at the Transcendence there, though, so Nene is going to have some issues, potentially, with his Graviton Surge. Animo's going to have to use this sound barrier well.
That's right, got to try to keep his team alive here. It's going to be the Transcendence instead for
they got DM.
But DM dies to the charge anyway. That does
DM
so
had the
much
grab.
Damage. Yeah, now they don't have the grab until he's back. More distance for New York. Gamsu down as well. They're staggering these kills out, so even when DM comes back, he's going to have to fight short-handed even with that grab. They're just going to try to keep him away. Oh, that grab got eaten. Meko is right there.
Oh, no. This is just a disaster for the Dragons.
The Dragons, everything falling apart now. Libero gets a nano boost because why not? And that is a blazing fast attack run for NYXL.
Gross. How does it go more wrong? Your grab gets eaten. Your EMP gets denied.
Yeah.
Your Zarya with the Graviton goes down first in a fight. That is just brutal.
It's rough, man. Shanghai gets a chance to redeem themselves on attack right after this.
Copa
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Well, New York Excelsior took that run about as fast as you possibly can. That was a pretty quick attack. Shanghai Dragons, everything going wrong for them at the end. Canceled EMP, dying before you're able to use your grav.
And then getting the grav eaten.
And then getting the grav eaten.
It was a tragedy. It was a series of tragedy
in 3 parts.
In 3 parts, right there for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yep.
Unfortunate for the Shanghai Dragons.
Even.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Shakespeare has 5 acts. But anyway,
I was going to make you explain that if you agreed with me. So I'm like, oh, really? Well, then how?
But in any case, we won't talk about Shakespeare any longer for the current time for the next 30 seconds. But Captain Planet, our stats guy, did whisper a very nice sweet nothing into my ear, which was that was the fifth fastest attack ever on Iconball.
Wow.
So 308 left in the time bank is quite the accomplishment for the NYXL.
That was pretty sick. Shanghai Dragons getting their chance to attack, see if they can do it quickly as well. A lot of DPS right now loaded up, but how many will stick around? That's the question. Coma swapping over to the Mercy, as you would expect. But might see the rest of this. And he picks. Nope. Not for DM, and it looks like he's going to swap. Okay.
It's a quick change right there.
Oh, or maybe not. It's a fake. Ooh.
He's faking himself out. Now it's Duke Fist. Now it's Hanzo.
All right.
Where are we going with this? Sombra.
Many things as possible.
Hanzo. Farah. Nope.
Widowmaker. All right. Have they stopped?
Well, okay. Well, everyone else was figuring out what they wanted to play. Coma dies.
All right. Like, I got this. I'm going to 1v6, guys.
It seems like some questionable communication from the rest of the team there.
Report for AFK. Just standing in spawn, changing heroes. Libero on the Pharah here, and that's exciting because this is a hero that Libero was really known for in Korea.
And in Overwatch League.
And in Overwatch League as well, but it's nice to see him back on one of the heroes that he loves. Nene on the McCree as well. So,
right, so we switched again. Now we're into the composition they like to run on some of the other points we've seen in this map, which is the 3-2-1, let's call it.
Okay.
The Pharah.
What about the 1-2-3? Giving him the old 1-2-3. Oh, Luffy. It's a lot of damage. Libero, as far as a scary thing, known for his air-to-air accuracy, actually. So Ding must beware, but Youngjin must beware as well as Meko finds a kill there. Now Luffy in trouble. Goes down. Jonak finds a final blow. Gamsu and DM, though, trying to equalize.
Gamsu nano boost on the point.
Got that nano boost, trying to do the damage, and Meko actually might be demeched here. He's in trouble. Tries to get away. Cannot do it. Oh, he can. He can do it. Oh,
he did do it. Don't tell him what he can't do. And then Ottawa's going to hit Gamsu in the back of the head.
He literally floated like a butterfly and then stung like a bee there.
He did.
Wow. What do you know?
Mercy known for her boxing capabilities.
That's right.
In that case, definitely true. She actually KO'd a dude in a suit of armor. I'm impressed. I couldn't do that.
That is quite the punch. Yeah. It's impressive. Here we go. It's high noon. Can they get through any of the shields?
Zone
Dragon.
Oh.
It's a zoning ultimate.
Can't quite get around
Dead zone.
the tower in time. But now we have Forest still with a barrage here. Libero going to open up onto the dragons.
Speaking of barrages, there gets two with that one.
That was nice.
That attack, yeah.
Really good coordination there with Mono on the wrecking ball to set up the disruption first so that Libero would be safe during the barrage.
Indeed. Going for those air-to-airs. You know, this town has seen enough. Why do they have to keep firing rockets into the buildings here?
Hey, nobody lives here anymore, so who cares?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Whoa, hello, Mono, coming down.
Well, Ding used the barrage and then was killed by Jonak, so there's that problem they have right now. They're trying to disrupt Coma so he can't get a resurrection off, and indeed he will not be able to.
Mono can get back to the point very quickly. He's already back.
Yeah, he already is back.
Yeah.
There he is.
All right, it was all part of the plan. Just a distraction. Libero gets the kill into Youngjin here. Jonak staying safe for the moment. Still has that transcendence to use in case things get really rough. Oh, no, he doesn't. Luffy comes in with the right click, gets him. Now Coma in a little bit of trouble, though. Nene. Oh,
has to
cancel.
cancel.
The building, though. That's right. Does have to cancel, but Shanghai, meanwhile, getting the kills they need. Libero got one with the barrage. Can't get any more. That was a point-blank barrage. Shanghai, after a very silly fight, looks like they'll take point A. Anima was going for the res. Couldn't complete it before he died.
It was a nice attempt there, but yes, it will be Shanghai getting the payload moving on Eichenwald. Barely 2.5 minutes added to the clock. Will they swap out right now? Looks like they are going to make a change. Ding over to the Sombra, which they really haven't tried very much so far today. Bringing it back right now for Eichenwald point B, however.
Right.
Otherwise, just Winston 3-3 from the NYXL, who have deviated very little in their composition so far.
Dropping the DPS.
Yeah, dropping the McCree there.
Yep. Here we go. Self-destruct from Meko. That's going to separate the Shanghai Dragons, give them an easy kill onto Gamsu.
Yeah, they know they're going to be playing from a bit behind.
Yeah.
Probably also somewhat concerned that DM's coming up onto a Graviton Surge. So why not just use the self-destruct aggressively to isolate the tank and buy yourself a little bit more time to get back into the game in terms of ult economy. And Mono just gets stunned and died.
All right. Not so great for New York. Luffy gets another one as well. Meko just trying to delay as long as he can. It's the old die on the cart strategy. Things go poorly, at least you can buy yourself a bit more time that way.
You also save your Zarya potentially from losing a bunch of charge as the rest of the
Very true.
Excelsior regroup. Everybody from the Dragons on the cart right now. This looks like the Zarya will be joining them off the high ground briefly.
A couple ultimates available for Shanghai. Gamsu looking for that good Earth Shatter as they round the bend here. Oh, it's going to be Ding really, really low in the New York back line. So Meko gets D-Mech. Here's the Transcendence now. Can't save Youngjin with it, though. There's a Shatter. Looks like a pretty good one for Shanghai. Trying to finish off more members of New York, and they do just that. That was a big boop, though. Coma does kill Jonak. In the end, Shanghai coming out ahead in that fight. That said, though, New York is making this one scrappy, actually, with the kill into DM. They're not going to let this payload get any farther.
Yeah, they still have 3 members alive as well,
Yeah.
and they got the kill onto the Zarya. EMP still up, however, so this will be a good way for Shanghai to close out this point.
They're going to try anyway. The respawn's
Ding's
pretty
back.
close for the attackers at this point, anyway. Gamsu gets the sound barrier as he's stunned, stays alive. Shanghai just trying to push that a little bit farther.
Okay.
Meko, again, trying to say, oh, I can't quite do it. There's the EMP from Ding onto the members of New York that remain. Meanwhile, Shatter coming up from Gamsu. It's going to lead to some more kills. Looking okay right now. Ooh, nice charge onto Mono there. Shanghai Dragons get the cleanup, and that should be point B. 1:30 on the clock. So not much time remaining to try to equalize here on Eichenwald. And remember, they need to win this map and the next map if they want to win the series.
Yeah, Mono also with the swap off onto the Reinhardt, so Shanghai now going to be continuing with this composition. Slight ult advantage for them. Meko has self-destruct. Anima with the sound barrier, but across the board, we're getting close to a Graviton for Nene.
Right. All right, here we go. Sound barrier for New York. They're going to go aggressive. Nene waiting for that chance to grab. Gamsu down. There's the grab. Does not get absorbed. Can they get the kills out of it, though? We will see. Ding really, really low. Can they finish him? Meanwhile, Gamsu goes forward. Gets a Zarya shield, but he needs more. They can't keep him up. Nene, meanwhile, doing okay in the back lines. Lots of charge, lots of damage out of this. And that's going to be Shanghai pushed back. Perhaps one more fight left in them here.
Well, Shanghai Dragons are coming back with a whole lot of ults, though. Critically, the Graviton and the EMP. NYXL, Jonak's going to have to be very careful. If he gets hit by that EMP and dies early, it means Shanghai can save their Graviton, potentially. So, have to see how this plays out for them. Ding going to be coming around the corner right now. Needs that last 3% for the EMP before he can really set himself up. He's going to have to, he's going to get it right now.
Have it just a second. That's right. Going in, there's the EMP onto a few members of New York. Not as many as he was hoping, though, as Jonak comes in with the Transcendence. Come with the kill Namano early on, so the main tank down already for New York. Shanghai trying to push forward here. They're getting the kills they need. New York Excelsior just has to rely on a few more respawns, but we're deep into overtime.
NYXL did a good job there, but they couldn't quite last long enough because they had to use the trance against the EMP. Graviton kills Jonak, and now they're fighting onto the payload.
Yeah, Animo bouncing off the payload. They've switched to Batiste. Immortality field down. Ooh, Mono tried to go for the Earthshatter, didn't really get anybody out of it. Now he's dead. There's the grab, the last chance for New York to try to tie this. Ooh, Meko. Self-destruct doesn't get anyone. They've got the sound barrier, though, too. And Shanghai, they've lost Gamsu. New York might be able to turn this one around. The rest of Shanghai has to try to get some kills here.
Mono's coming out with a Reaper now just to burn down these supports. He's into the support line, but Ding's going to take him out.
All right, another EMP comes in for Ding. Is that going to be enough to push Shanghai through? Those respawns coming so fast for New York right now. And there's the amplification matrix. Coma in trouble. Jonak gets the kill. That accuracy on the Batista. New York again pushing Shanghai back. That's going to be it. And New York will take Eichenwald and they'll take the series.
That's right. No way for the Dragons to come back now. Considering the draw that we had in Map 2, they'll be fighting for pride on Map 4 and that map differential. NYXL have a chance to increase their lead.
One more map to go. Shanghai is certainly making it competitive, and they'll still want to win that fourth map. We've showed the standings earlier, man. Every map counts. Don't miss it. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, guys. NYXL winning the series with that win on Eichenwald due to the tie on Hanamura. They've got 2 map wins. Shanghai only able to achieve at the most 1 yet in this series. And of course, as we say over and over and over again in this broadcast, map 4s do matter. Map differential becomes very important towards the end of the stage and doubly important towards the end of the season when those overall playoffs occur. So Shanghai still with a lot to play for. And I think genuinely they really should feel like they have a lot to play for because they are a better team. They played New York close today.
I think that it's hard probably to be a Shanghai Dragon right now because you look at your week, you already took your second loss this week.
Yeah.
Those were against the Gladiators and the NYXL.
It was a really tough week.
So, yes, it was a very tough week. And as we alluded to when this broadcast started, probably will get easier for them down the road this stage when they have some easier opponents.
I mean,
that said, let's look at Luffy and Jonak.
Yeah, speaking of these Shanghai players, I mean, Luffy honestly playing it very close to Jonak,
Yep.
exceeding him in a lot of categories. So, again, you look at the Shanghai Dragons, the pieces are there for this to become a very, very good team, and I don't think we're going to have to wait too long before they're coming out with positive records in the stages.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure they're going to be reaching our elite team status, but are they potentially a season playoff team in spite of their current record? Sure. I mean,
Possibly.
That's definitely something that they can aspire to, especially because now at the end of the season playoffs, we have that play-in, so even the 12th place team is
Right.
going to have a shot at making it into the top 8.
That'll be really cool. I'm glad we added that
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
cool.
That's going to be really exciting. So, with Shanghai Dragons, they've really kind of maintained this insistence to sort of use this 3 tank, 2 support Pharah composition. Or I've got that backwards. 2 tank, 3 support with Pharah composition. Do you think this has legs? Do you think this is something they're going to be able to keep doing?
I'm surprised. It actually has been pretty effective overall against New York. Now, the thing about it, though, is like you have to get kills with the Pharah because if you do a lot of chip damage, what ends up happening with that composition is that you power up their supports, which means that your grabs are less effective, right? Because there's going to be more graviton surges that you have as the Pharah using team that are going to be denied, say, by a Transcendence or a Sound Barrier or something like that. So I don't think it is very clear cut, but I think with as good of a Pharah as Ding is, and the fact that he has been getting kills and he has been getting value out of the barrage, it's been an interesting strategy for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. And it's like you said, the danger there is like knowing when to poke and when to kind of hold back a little bit so you don't give more ult charge over the other team. But we've got a substitution on the Shanghai side again. It's going to be Kaguri subbing in once more, but not for Diem this time, for Ding. So it looks like at least on our final map, we won't be seeing that Pharah composition.
Yeah, definitely not, considering that Ding has been the Sombra specialist, or the Pharah specialist and the Sombra specialist on this team. So neither of them I think we will be seeing. I wasn't that impressed with the Zarya changes that happened last time Kaguri came in, but Kaguri did cause the draw on the map as well by having a couple of clutch plays. So I'm curious what their strategy is going to be.
Well, going to Gibraltar. That's right, our escort map, our final map of the series. You can see New York taking away. Snikenwald Hanamura going in the draw route because of the Dragons. And again, you know,
it's called Dranamura for a reason.
Dranamura, yeah.
It's called Dranamura for a reason. We do see a lot of draws on that map.
That's right. So, I wonder, what are the Shanghai Dragons going to play? Because they've been subbing Kaguri in off and on. You'd imagine she's going to play the Diva, but where does that leave Diem? Looks like for now, it's going to mean the Zarya.
Yeah, well, Diem is a typical Zarya player on this roster, so it looks like they're just going to go for the Winston 3-3. Makes the most sense instead of flexing your Zarya onto a player that hasn't had as much experience on that hero like we saw earlier.
I mean, Kaguri could play the Zarya.
Absolutely. So it might mean that they go for a Zarya Widow composition at some point in time.
Oh, that's true.
It does open up some options.
Very true. Well, meanwhile, New York on the defense, Shanghai Dragons on the attack, looking to come away with this with at least one map win. As we finish out this series between the New York Excelsior and the Shanghai Dragons. New York taking the high ground, as you often see. It looks like they're just going to pull back and play it passive.
All right, so both teams just going to play the corner right now. Mono on that low ground, delaying payload progress until somebody comes to move him. Also give a little bit of extra energy there to the Zarya. Jonak struggling to get up onto that high ground. Finally gets there.
Ooh, headshot coming through, but no kills out of that one. A lot of damage, though. Jonak already halfway to his Transcendence. He builds that so quickly. He also, little anecdote, he built that, there's classic Jonak. All right. Well, as I was about to tell you something impressive about Jonak, he did something impressive. That's just Jonak. New York getting aggressive now, seeing if they can get any exit kills as Shanghai backs off. But at the end of Eichenwald, Jonak built the amplification matrix in just over 40 seconds, which is pretty insanely fast.
And especially when there's
Even
a lot
to
of
that hero.
pressure. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on you, too, at the end of that.
Right.
Hitting a lot of his shots, Jonat. Of course, known for his mechanical ability. Luffy, known for his ability to die twice in a row. First on Gibraltar.
Is he known for that?
Well, he is now.
He's known now, I guess. Yeah. All right. DM in a lot of trouble here. Not going to make it out. Youngjin down as well. So Shanghai Dragons, so far in this map, not looking like there's a lot of life left in this team.
I mean, they're not really making that many mistakes, too. They got caught in transition right there on the rotation, but you have to drop down, and sometimes the Zed is the exposed one because he's just a little bit less mobile than many other heroes in this game.
A little bit?
A lot of it.
A lot of it less mobile. Definitely one of the least mobile heroes out there.
Dragons recuperating now, trying to get back in towards the payload, and there's going to be a grab, drop down from above.
Yep, DM down immediately here. As Jonak finds another one with the right click, it's going to be the rally from Youngjin to try to keep Shanghai in it, but it's already too late. Kekuri down as well. There goes Gamsu, and the rally used, but Shanghai not really able to get anything out of it.
And they're getting to the cart. They did get a small amount of movement as they could. Shanghai banking up some ultimates now. They'll be coming up on 5, but Excel is just getting great value. I mean, they only had to use a grab, and they're already 40% towards another one. Nene, please.
Fourth time's the charm.
You got it.
You got it? Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. All right. Let's hear it for Nene. Jumping abilities. Amazing. I probably could.
Well, I don't know if amazing is the word I would use.
Amazing jumping abilities. Player of the match. Right there.
Nene, player of the match. All right. So Shanghai Dragons make it through the underpass right now, and they're going to get stuffed into server.
Yeah, that's right. Mano's going to try to put him directly into the internet through the computers there. No, he's just going to go after Lucio instead. Koma separated from the team. Meanwhile, a grab for Shanghai. Keguri uses that self-destruct. No kills onto that one. Koma finally goes down, and Mano's going to add DM to the kill list for good measure. It's another push ended by NYXL's defense.
And do you like staggering divas?
Oh, I love it.
Just blocking every possible exit right now.
Is this internet bullying because this is happening in the server room?
I mean, Keguri could call down the mech.
Yeah, but you'd probably immediately get DMEC though. Yeah.
You would.
I
there you go.
Yep.
Trying to see if she could get back out towards the rest of her team where it might have been safe to remech, but
I think it was
not going to happen. That is a brutal stagger though. 15 seconds left on this attack for Shanghai.
It was right to not remech though. If she would have, just been demeched, and then the delay would have been even longer. So better just take the loss there. Meanwhile, Shanghai Dragons trying to get aggressive. Nene, Graviton Surge available one more time. Going to try to slip it past Keguri's defense matrix again. Shanghai trying to go through the side room. They're going to use the sound barrier early. Keguri trying to get some movement on that payload, but denied again as New York comes back in. There it is. Gamsu stuck in the primal rage there as well. Meko self-destruct. No kills, but it doesn't matter. They've got the ones they need already. He actually did demech Keguri with that one. But New York coming up big on the defense here on Gibraltar. Shanghai scrambling for just any picks they can maybe find, but with the tanks out of the way, it's going to be so hard to make any more progress here. That said, New York having a little bit of a hard time finishing them off. They just finally pushed them away long enough.
Just pop them off the payload. It's fine.
Odd end of the map, or end of the round anyway, but Shanghai not able to make much progress. Should be a piece of cake for New York to finish this one out.
You would think so. You would think so.
I would think so.
Of our earlier match today, I thought oftentimes that it should be a piece of cake for Philadelphia to finish things out. It did take a little bit longer than expected.
No, that was a different team, Monte Cristo.
I also thought it'd be a piece of cake for New York Excelsior to take Hanamura B when they had 4 minutes.
That's a very
and
good
they
point.
didn't do that either. So
there's that, but there's a big difference between Hanamura B and the first 2/3 of Gibraltar Point A.
That's true, Noah. I agree. Let's not make false equivalencies.
Yeah, exactly. Stop it with your false equivalencies.
Speaking of not false equivalencies, Libero was the only player in NYXL to die on that defense.
Wow, what a feeder.
Exactly.
Man.
1 death for the entire New York Excelsior team.
Ruining his team's perfect record. Not bad. Well, that's all the farther. New York needs to push the payload to win Gibraltar and take the series 3-0. There will be that draw in Hanamura, of course, but New York at least looking to get all the match score they can out of this one. If you're trying to stay hidden, why would you put your flag up next to a major shipping lane?
I mean, why would you be launching satellites into space? Seems like that would be pretty noticeable from world governments.
I suppose. Maybe Maybe he's just decided that everyone, people think it's abandoned, right? They're like, oh, they just forgot to take the flag down. That's all. Oh, they just forgot their spaceship was gone. That happens.
Happens to me all the time.
Ooh, Mono.
Mono with the cheese.
Yeah, gonna ferry the team over to that side.
It's Nene and Jonak who are going to be going, so they get the view on the bridge here.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of damage. Jonak
all right.
popping out from behind there. Libero returning to Brigitte, of course.
Yeah, probably not going to stay on that Symmetra. All right, Mono getting in there. Giving a little bit more charge over to Nene Zarya via that shield. And New York just kind of approaching this one slowly. Shanghai Dragons back to the Winston 3-3. Both teams, in fact, going for that. Oh, Mono in a lot of trouble, and he's just going to give the kill over the Shanghai Dragons. New York having to reset. They're going to lose a few more people in the process.
And nice split up there by the Shanghai Dragons. We'll be able to punish the NYXL. New York trying to get back over to spawn right now. Looks like Libero is returning to the rest of his team now on the Brigitte. Payload made it pretty far under the underpass, so Shanghai is going to have to back off for the rest of this defense.
Oh, Diem in a lot of trouble. He's going to go for the solo
grab.
Nene gets Diem with the solo grab. Absolutely worth it. Diem's not going to be able to get a grab this time around, it seems like. Libero down, though. Luffy equalizing the kills to try to keep his team in it. But now, Gamsu goes through with the Primal Rage. They're going to keep New York back. And, wow, that was quite the response from Shanghai to stay alive there.
Yeah, Primal doesn't actually end up getting much done, though. And now Diem's going to be coming back. Nene has almost gotten right back up to Diem's percentage on the next grab, though, due to the time of just beaming people down.
Sure. Wow, that payload nearly got snuck in there. Meko nearly was able to do the ninja cap behind the Shanghai Dragons back lines.
Luffy just used his transcendence.
Oh, Meko! You can't let this guy do that. Oh, they get the DMAC though, but there's the self-destruct. And that's going to push some of the members of Shanghai back. Now New York getting aggressive. They've got the rally. They're going in onto Luffy. Their sound barrier comes out too late to save the Zenyatta. Mono roasting people. And the grab gets eaten. Meko ready to take care of Diem's ultimate. And that's going to be it. Meanwhile, Jonak just pushes the cart. And that's the end of the series. New York takes it 3-0.
Wow. Well, dominant third game at the very least. Shanghai managed to keep it pretty close on all of the other maps, but that third one, bit of a blowout there for the XL.
Yep, that's right. And it was a tough one for Shanghai as well. I mean, they came so close in a lot of situations to being able to win some of these maps. Obviously, Hanamura was a great defensive effort. And there's no doubt in my mind that this team is improving at a pretty rapid rate right now. They had a tough week at the beginning of Stage 1. But we'll see where they go from here.
And we don't mean that like Shanghai Dragons roster last season. We mean that legitimately to start Stage 2. They've had a very tough schedule, and we fully expect them to win a bunch of games down the stretch.
Yeah, that's right. Rough first week, but a lot of opportunities for Shanghai to bring it back. But New York, again, with a strong start in their first week in the Overwatch League, going 2-0. And like a lot of analysts were saying at the beginning of the day in the pre-show, New York on track for possibly going 14-0 in the regular season. But again, those playoff wins, they got to get those playoff wins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stage playoffs ultimately are not the biggest prize in the Overwatch League. It's for pride and for, obviously, not a small amount of money
It's important for the pride, the bank account, and all that. It doesn't feed into the overall playoffs. You still want to win. If I was a player, I'd want to win the stage playoffs.
Sure. Well, they might as well lose the stage playoffs this time and then win the season playoffs.
That's
as opposed to
true.
doing what they did last year, which was win 2 stage playoffs and then just wash out the season playoffs. So
that is true.
I prefer this strategy if it goes as I'm saying, instead of just maybe losing all the playoffs at all times, which is another option that they could choose for themselves potentially.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Anything is possible. Let's check out some highlights from that series. Start things off with Gibraltar. Jonak doing what Jonak does, delivering the orbs with deadly precision to the other guy with the orbs. What do you know?
That's right. It's metal balls in your dome. A dome. Jonak specialty.
That's right. And Mono, of course, with the clean out there. And then Jonak comes in, fights out. Oh, yeah, just push it a little bit. There we go. That was kind of funny. It was so, I mean, Shanghai seemed so kind of scrambled at the end of that one that Meko and Jonak did most of the pushing here. But let's talk about our player of the match by Omen by HP. And no surprise to anybody, it is going to be Jonak. He had a great day.
He's turning around slowly.
That's right, for dramatic effect. Had the sick play on Hanamura. Check it out, that sleep dart on the nano boosted Pharah.
That was
amazing stuff. And then getting the kill onto Luffy as well. He actually did kill the Far later, but this hold on Eichenwald was absolutely crushed, or clutch rather. He crushed him with his clutch plays. Again, building that amplification matrix in just over 40 seconds. One of the fastest we've seen. And
yeah, also, just
I can
setting
watch
up a
this
lot
all
of
day.
these eliminations at the start of fights, bragging out as usual. Just Jonak things. I mean, we're all sort of numb to how good Jonak is now.
I love it. And he always ends with more hero damage done than healing done. Nearly every single time we see the stat card, it's higher damage. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Jonak, our Omen by HP. Player of the match. How about that?
Good stuff.
Yeah. So, New York takes down Shanghai. We got a great match coming up, though. It's going to be the Chengdu Hunters versus Paris Eternal. Paris looking really good in their last series, and I cannot
Everybody
wait to watch
wants to
the
see
Hunters
Chengdu
again.
in this meta. Everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
That's going to be sick. Do not go anywhere, guys. Overwatch League will be back with the final match of the day right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
Bursting onto the scene of the Overwatch League in Stage 1 was the Chengdu Hunters, quickly becoming one of the people's most favorite teams to watch, Matt. We had a meta that revolved around tanks and supports. Chengdu bucked the trend, refused to play that style, and now, of course, they're going to be here in Stage 2, showing us if they got even more up their sleeve, because a lot of teams are playing the way that they kind of played already.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't really need more up their sleeve, just more of the same. And I think you start to saw towards the end of Stage 1, the Hunters, they actually were playing more than just kind of like their gimmicky stuff. Like they were able to put together.
People are like, they're great, but they're one-dimensional. Or at least they thought that anyway.
Yeah, they were able to put together a good like triple tank, triple support. But I think what you really saw from them, what got people excited, was that they were able to play a ton of damage dealers. And you see they used 2 DPS 46% of the time. The rest of the league was only using 25% of the time. So, the Hunters were making them fan favorites, right? I think now, though, they have the opportunity. Even though their Stage 1's not that bad, they have an opportunity to win some more games here in Stage 2.
Absolutely. Jinmu's Pharah was very impressive. Amon, of course, showed us fantastic Wrecking Ball play across Stage 1. But then we were surprised to see his Reinhardt in Chengdu's 3-3 composition look really good. But here's my question. What about the Winston?
We haven't seen him play Winston really at all. I mean, it's just been either Reinhardt or Wrecking Ball. And I think, he kind of said that, the Hunters kind of said that they didn't really play triple tank, triple support because they didn't think his Reinhardt was like up to par.
They said
and then
was
he comes out
comfortable with.
Yeah, he comes out and he plays the Reinhardt against Vancouver. And
looked very comfortable by the way.
Yeah, he was totally fine. I also think, too, we talk about how good his Wrecking Ball is. Wrecking Ball does get, what I think many of us would say is a buff where he's able to use the shields while continuing to roll.
Doesn't stop his momentum at all, literally.
So I think, maybe even stronger on that hero now.
And on the other side of things, the Paris Eternal, they'll be their opponents today. A team who looks different now than they did in Stage 1. So coaching changes made. Demon goes over towards the Dallas Fuel. And now we start to see a couple more of these players come out of the woodwork. Cloudy on that main tank role. We expected to see him eventually, especially on that Winston pick. Gray also in the mix, who's played a bunch of different stuff. Danye, we've seen him on the Pharah. He's obviously known as being quite a great Widowmaker player. Polish scene representing here in the Overwatch League. So these 3 players give the Eternal a very different look, and they slapped Guangzhou in their match.
Yeah, that means you see Shadowburn in soon in the game together, where in Stage 1 they were kind of rotating those 2 players out, playing the Zarya role. Yeah, where Shadowburn comes in, plays the Brigitte. But I think Shadowburn, you can play a phenomenal Pharah, Genji if you were to need it. I know we've seen his hero pool expand over the years. Like we saw even some hit scan last year towards the end. So I think, Paris, they're looking at a team where we thought this would be a stage where potentially they could have a little bit of a downturn because the meta is not really in their favor, or they want to play like loads of tanks. You still have the tankiness in, I think, for a lot of compositions, but now they have some flexibility with players like Shadowburn that could really help them out.
And you wonder, obviously, it is the meta changing that allows them to go for this sort of change. Also, Fefe now moving into that sort of head or lead coaching position on the Paris Eternal, whereas in the past they sort of had multiple head coaches that all sort of filled the same roles. And I chatted with Gray a little bit here and there, and he sort of said that he wants to change his team. He thinks he can change this team from the inside. If you ever speak to the guys, very experienced Overwatch player, playing back way before like the Overwatch League era, played on teams with players like Neptuno, Logix, Swoosh, and the European scene. So a very good brain on the guy, and definitely the way he thinks about the game is definitely interesting.
I mean, look, a coaching change comes through, and then some changes to the roster and who's going to be starting some of these games, and you can turn some positive momentum out of that, right? Everybody, it's kind of like when you have a new teammate, it's a little bit like a honeymoon phase, right? Where nothing's wrong when a new player comes into the lineup,
start winning a bunch.
Yeah, you start winning a little bit. Everybody feels confident with the new player in the mix, like, oh, we solved all our problems, like it's it. So I think you'd ride that for a little bit if you're Paris.
Well, with all that aside, it's time to see. We've talked about these things. Let's see them as they take to the stage. First, it will be the Chengdu Hunters. This is a team that's been impressed us, man, and all their players aren't even here yet. We haven't seen Yang Xiaolong yet. I mean, this is going to be, very interesting. GT Ren as well. Not here in America yet, but still with this arguably weakened, at least on paper roster, they've given us some great Overwatch now. And I mean, this is their jungle, man. This is the style that they've been playing for quite some time. We're seeing these DPS heroes weaved into the mix, so they should be very comfortable here.
I think Jinmu could be really big for the Hunters in this meta. We've seen a lot of Pharah today. I think if Pharah becomes a mainstay in the meta, or a hero that you consistently need a top tier Pharah at, he's been one of the best so far.
There's the whole roster there. I look forward to see Bacon Jack on that Widowmaker once more. That'll be a lot of fun. But it's time to bring out their opponents. Let us meet the Paris Eternal. Man, everyone be sitting up, sitting down, sitting up. Get more of a workout than we are out here. Leading the charge, Teen Wolf, Gray. Shaved his beard a little bit there. He's trimmed that one.
Yeah, Teen Wolf. Oh, come on, man. You can't do your bun like that. There you go. Little Teen Wolf looking.
Trimmed it down a touch. Yeah, so soon Shadowburn, Cloudy's there, Finzy, Cruz, and Gray
will be taking the stage. And again, once again, Shadowburn and Soon in the same roster to start off with. Paris Eternal, we thought they could only play triple tank, triple support style. We kind of had them hedged in that one. We thought, oh man, maybe they're not even that good at that. All of a sudden, seeing a different look from them right now. And all of a sudden you realize all these damage-dealing weapons that this team's been concealing can now come to the fore. Grey also, by the way, has a really nasty Sombra. If he would be required to play that, he is able to.
It's good to see Cloudy in the lineup. I thought Ben Best was pretty good in the Reinhardt during stage 1, but I think you need a little bit more versatility out of your main tank. The series we did with Boston, right? You saw every main tank being played pretty much by fusions, and I think when you look at Cloudy, very good Winston player, can play the wrecking ball as well.
I want to see the Ana from Grey today. Yeah, you got to catch all that water, bro.
Water went down the wrong
This is his Zenyatta stage, so this is his ranks in general. So importantly, defensive assists, healing done. They're very respectable numbers. It is a small sample size map. We haven't seen as much of Grey on the stage, but obviously against Guangzhou, he looked excellent. That cheeky little Batiste immortality fill on Junkertown that he kind of threw under the payload. Love to see that kind of stuff. Let's see where we're going now in your map set, presented to you by Toyota. Starts on Oasis with Hanamura, Blizzard World, and Rialto to follow here. So again, a lot of maps with a lot of verticality, a chance for our bunker composition on Hanamura and Rialto as well.
Pretty good Pharah maps. And I know we talked about Jinmu's Pharah. Shadowburn has a really strong Pharah as well. It'd be awesome to see those two players, go at it in the battle in the sky.
He talked about it in his all-access Q&A the other night that, he warms up by, playing against training bots at high speed. So makes it harder to hit those rockets. Presumably he's practicing his direct hits and stuff like that. And in that previous match, he looked very good. So Chengdu finally taking the stage. As Monty pointed out, everyone's been waiting to see what these guys will bring in this meta. And already, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like it.
Why need any supports? Let's just get Ivatel to go play like a Hanzo or something. Let's go at it.
You can't even joke about these things with Chengdu because they would probably do it. They played a single support last stage, to be fair. All right. Is that Soon on the McCree? Oh, yes. All right. So Paris come out here with a bit of a 2-2-2 of their own. Obviously, Shadowburn on the Brigitte, so he's still chained to that role, at least for now.
And Bacon Jack's going on a long flank. Usually you don't see this. He's got all the way underneath, sprinted all the way through the bottom, trying to go all the way around. Ivatel have to use this res here early.
Jinmu's down.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're going for that res there on the Kyo. You have Jinmu get taken out in the sky.
Ivatel can only be in so many places at once. He can only resurrect one person at a time. Finzi does the same thing again. He just goes up on the high ground, charges in, gets rid of Kyo. And you have to say that's worth it, giving up his mech. 2 kills on the enemy Zenyatta. The Hunters haven't been able to get off the starting block yet.
You do still have some long-range damage, though, being put down now by Jinmu. They've been getting a pile driver kill there on the Finzi. That's going to get res right up, though.
Bacon Jack really trying to harass. He's fully flanked. He's almost begging Soon to try and challenge him. Now Soon going to try and use the period of absence from Bacon Jack to apply more pressure to the point. Aeon got stunned there pretty hard, but again, that adaptive shield, man, just keeps him alive. If he's surrounded by more people, he gets more shield, but Grey finds the finish. It's a 3-man EMP, though. Cloudy was hit hard by that one, but he's kept alive at least for long enough. The Eternals still control the point at 32%. They keep it contested, and Jinmu is out of the mix.
By a break, nonetheless. You have Jinmu getting res right up. Cruz will res up Cloudy, so Cloudy does have Primal Rage to potentially use here. Paris still controls this point.
It's true. Amon is very hard to kill. He always manages to get away. The problem is that the Hunters need a clean fight win to capture this point back. The Eternal will just set their feet down on the point. They won't be shifted. And Chengdu, all they're doing is blowing hot air.
The point does end up flipping here.
They need to go back. They have to go back. They can't just let him retake this one easy. Oh, immediate stun on Amon there as well. Another stun. That's 2 stuns used on the main tank from the Chengdu Hunters, and that is finally enough to silence him.
And are now coming back into the next fight. It's like